everybody, it's Yogi and I'm back with another somewhat cooking video. We're actually going to do something outside today, which is really fun because the weather's real nice. And I wanted to show you how to make a Cowboy Coffee Ketogenic Style out with a camp stove. You could use this technique if you are traveling, if you got a camp, portable camp stoves like a pocket rocket or something like that. You can use this if you're backpacking. You could use this if you're a truck driver and you're at a rest area, there's no good coffee and you don't have a coffee maker in your truck. So what I have here is a bush pot style mess kit. It's just a long tall pot. They sell these things all over the place and they're very inexpensive. You can pick one of these things up real easy. This one happens to have one lid but two pots. Let me grab this out. And this is actually going to be my coffee mug. So I'm going to set that aside. Oops. All right. So we're going to put this up here. And I'm going to make sure it's balanced real nice. There we go. And I'm going to add some water. I had when I was younger, I was actually one of those nerdy kids that was in Boy Scouts and all that kind of stuff, Cub Scouts. The only reason I joined though is because I wanted to go camping. And I lucked out that the second troop that I joined had a Marine Recon, a retired Marine Recon, I think he was a gunny sergeant, that was our scout leader. So he showed us all kinds of stuff. And this is one of the things he would do to make coffee. I've kind of modified it a bit just so it works for ketogenic. But he had this thing where he felt if you put eggshells in the coffee that that it would help the ground sink to the bottom and separate, so when you pour it off, you actually got no coffee grounds in your mug. And I always thought it was bull, but when I tried it, it worked. So whenever I don't put the eggshells in, I get nasty stuff in my the grounds and everything and stuff in my coffee. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this to a boil, and we're gonna probably speed up the camera a bit while we're doing that. But before we do that, I'm gonna show you what's gonna go into my Cowboy coffee to make it ketogenic. So, let me grab my mug. I got in this little container, and I love these things. I use them on the truck a lot. They're great for camping. Little silicone collapsible containers that you can put all kinds of stuff. But in this container, I have some butter and some coconut oil. And we're gonna go ahead and put this into the coffee pot. There we go. One thing I did forget to bring with me is a spoon. I didn't expect it to melt this bad, but they got a lot warmer today than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to still be cool so I could just drop it in. And Mother Nature decided to go, nope, it's going to be hot today. So I'm out here because I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I'm chopping wood today. So this is actually going to be my pre-workout and breakfast, essentially. So the next thing I'm going to put in my coffee, I have an egg. And don't freak out. I know a lot of people have seen me on some of the Facebook groups put egg in my coffee. It does not make your coffee taste eggy. You won't get little curled eggs in there if you do things right. It'll actually add a lot of nutrition, and it'll give you a bit of a froth and thickness and make you filled up easier. So some great protein and other nutrition in there. And I needed the eggshell. As I said before, it's gonna go into the pot. Now, I've been really after things to up my nutrition, and I've also been trying to stay away from sweets. So I have base powder from CHOW. This is essentially all the nutrition that they use in their shakes, but no flavorings and no sweeteners in it. And it has potassium citrate, salt, xanthan gum. It has a vitamin blend of dicalcium phosphate, choline, L-bitrate, magnesium, citrate, absorbic acid, vitamin A, palmate, chlorophyll, vitamin D3, vitamin E, acetate, niacin, zinc, gluconate, decalcium, panthenate, ferrous gluconate, manganese sulfate, copper, potassium iodine, L-methylfolate. That means methylated B vitamins, which means the B vitamins in here are bioavailable compared to a lot of the other B vitamins and other things. You have D-biotin, which is great for your nails, lutein, lycopene, chromium, picolinate. If you're hiking and backpacking and you want to take some lightweight, easy to pack food with you that you can throw in, have a quick breakfast, and then hit the trail, this is a great way to go. It's also if you're taking a break from the hike and you want to cook something up really fast or make like a shake or something, again, this stuff is phenomenal. So let me get in here. It packs up real easy. It doesn't have a lot of weight. Of course, the trick is opening it. There we go. There we go. I don't know what it is, but whenever I open one of these things, it seems like the side that I pull off, I can't get at the Ziploc seal on the inside. So I've got my little scooper, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a scoop in here. I'm actually gonna go 2 scoops. Now, I also put my coffee in a single serving size little travel container, little jar. So it's right there, but I wanted to show you what kind of coffee I'm using as well. I actually got 4 Sigmatic, and I love this coffee because it is the ground mushroom blend. And this brand, this type of 4 Sigmatic actually has heat-resistant probiotics. The mushrooms in here are, let's see here, we have organic coffee, organic chaga extract, really good for metabolism, organic turkey tail, organic yakin juice powder, and Bacillus subtilis, which is a heat-resistant probiotic. So I'm actually getting a little extra nutrition from there. And these mushrooms also have enzymes in there that are great for brain function. All right, this is probably the part where we're gonna speed up the camera a little bit because we're not quite boiled yet. All right, we are getting a nice rolling boil in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my coffee. And I'm gonna add my eggshell. Now I'm just gonna let this cook or boil, steep for a little bit on boil for maybe about a minute. It might start to boil over, so I gotta watch it. And here it comes. I'm reducing the heat down to low. It's going to a real nice rolling boil, and that boil is actually gonna knock the grounds out around a little bit and help them sink to the bottom when I come out, when I take the pot off. And also it's going to cook the coffee. The reason why I wait for it to start to boil before I put the coffee grounds in is because if you put the coffee grounds in at the beginning, you can end up burning your coffee as you're trying to make your coffee. It's better if you wait for it to boil already And then that way when you put it in, it won't, the coffee grounds won't settle to the bottom and scorch right away. This way you only cook it for a little while. The longer you cook it, the stronger the coffee is going to be and the more bitter it's going to be. So you want to just cook it for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. If you really want to go like motor oil style, you can go longer. Now, I'm going to be making my coffee right in here. And the way you can do this is if you get one of those little milk frothers, you can put that in there, use it to mix things up. If you want to go hand power, you can get a little tiny whisk and work that in there. Another way you can go is if you got a thermos, you can get a couple of the wire whisk shaking balls. These guys. And it works best when there's two of them. Oop, drop that. So you put one in, you put them both in there, you put your hot coffee in and you shake it up. However, if you do it this way, you probably won't be able to get the frothy texture on egg, so you probably wouldn't be able to use an egg in this type of thing right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that away. You would, however, if you wanted to get a decent protein powder, you could use that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. All right. So, when you're doing this, before you pour, to help the coffee grounds settle to the bottom, you're gonna wanna tap it a little bit. And a matter of fact, I'm gonna grab a little stick because the pot's hot. And you're gonna disrupt the coffee grounds, break the surface tension, and allow those coffee grounds to settle to the bottom. All right, now like I said, you can mix this up using a nice little wire whisk. Since I'm not backpacking and not camping and I don't really care about weight, yeah, all right. So, whisk goes in. And we're slowly pouring the coffee in. And we got our nice coffee. Now the reason why I slowly poured the coffee in is because I had the egg in there. If I would have poured the coffee in really fast, I would have cooked the egg and I would have had curdled egg in my coffee, which doesn't have the greatest texture when you're trying to drink it. But now I got coffee and I got breakfast all in one. Tasty. Now, if you're not putting keto chow in, if you want to, you can add a little electrolytes. There's already electrolytes in the keto chow, so I don't want to go overboard with them. But there's a bunch of different companies that make liquid electrolytes or powdered electrolytes. I like a couple of them in particular, and the reason why I like them is I know they work, because when I take them, I have far fewer muscle cramps. Keto chow is one of my favorites, because one, I love the people that run the place, and it works really well. And they have different forms. They have fasting drops, they have electrolyte drops, and they have magnesium drops. I also like Redmond's products. They have a electrolyte, powder electrolytes that they do. And there is a company called Light Balance, which I use. I have used trace minerals, but frankly, I don't think they work quite. They work okay, but they don't work quite as well as the Keto CHOW does. So Keto CHOW is my favorite for that. And then what I love too is they give you these little travel sized bottles when you order the big bottle, so that you can fill them up and go. And they also have little travel size tubes that are sealed up, and you just open them up and you're ready to go. So, but because I actually put Keto CHOW in here, I don't need to actually do that. Now my coffee tastes great. I don't have any of the coffee grounds in my coffee. I'm not getting that. They're all settled down to the bottom. I poured off. It was fantastic. It's dark, it's rich, it's ready to go. So if you're backpacking, traveling, and you want an interesting way of doing coffee for when you're out traveling, this is a great way to go. And you can, with a push pot this size, you could probably do coffee for 2 to 3 people. All right, have a great one.